Hello, everybody. Welcome to Poodcast. Shoutouts to Capcom and Chun-Li. We're gonna
what?
The thumbnail, baby.
Oh, right.
That did you forget?
Yeah,
it's all about the thumbnail.
It's been so long since I thought about LEWDS Chun-Li. You wanna know how I found out about that fucking that cover or that image at least?
Like everyone else?
No, I went to MagFest a few years ago, and they used to have a guy selling hentai at MagFest. And
so basically, it was like any anime convention.
Yeah, and before they cleaned it up, before Rudy Giuliani cleaned up New York, and fucking, I was just going through it because hey, why not? And I just see this fucking image on the front of a cover of just Chun-Li with her tongue sticking out with a big mosaic censored dick like headed right towards it.
And I was like, mommy, I want this one.
And then like a day later I brought a friend over because I was like, you have to fucking see this like goofy ass cover. And I was like, hey, do you have that Chun-Li thing still? And he's like, which one? I'm like, the one where she makes a really weird face. And he's like, oh, you mean the one where she goes, and he fucking did the same thing. And I was like, yeah.
And for a moment, I gazed into the eyes of God.
I think it's called Ahigao. Ahigao.
Ahego or whatever.
I think that's what the kids are calling it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my fetish. All right. Speaking of Capcom, you guys wanted to talk about Resident Evil 7. See, there was a perfect segue. Hey. There was a purpose besides the LEWDS.
Here's a better segue. Sorry, we've been gone for a couple of weeks. Matt went to California.
I did.
And then Brian's just really bad at recording the podcast.
I said let's do a different video every other week so we have more topics.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
It's okay.
All right.
Okay.
So when I was on
for 2 fucking weeks.
when I was on my plane getting ready to go to California, I was waiting for takeoff, and the plane gets off the ground, and I was listening to music because it's really loud, and I just want to focus on something. I need to focus on something, so I was listening to music, and fucking Speed Highway from Sonic Generations starts. While the plane's taking off, you can just imagine the music sync there. It was incredible. I had to stifle my laughter. The lady next to me probably thought it was really weird.
That kid's got a beard and he's laughing oddly.
I love the fucking like stories people are making up about like the Switch, because in the commercial they have the dude playing it on the airplane, and he's like, is this gonna mean when the Switch is out you're gonna be on a plane and all of a sudden, like, faintly in the background you're gonna hear like wahoo, what up noise and all this other shit?
I'm pretty sure the flight attendants would tell you to wear headphones though.
Yeah, you're supposed to wear headphones.
That's most likely what's gonna happen, or you just turn the volume off.
And
then it's
okay.
You hear the pilots playing their Switch over the intercom.
On my flight home, we were waiting for takeoff. The plane was moving already. You're not supposed to leave your seat during takeoff. But this lady in front of me, she tries to get up to use the restroom. The flight attendant is like, "Sorry, miss, you have to sit back down." And she just goes, "Why? We're preparing for takeoff. You have to remain seated. I need to go to the bathroom. Sorry, miss, you really need to sit down. You can get up when we say it's okay." And then she, like, angrily sits down, takes out her phone, which, you know, it's supposed to be in airplane mode by that point. And she opens Snapchat, takes a selfie, and writes a really long rant in Arabic, and then tags her post as oppressed.
Oh my god.
How did I know it would end like this?
Oh my god.
It's terrible because, like, the minute you said a lady got up, I was like, this is going to end up in someone getting triggered. I know it.
Social taboo, but actually, I don't know if you guys know this, they actually revoked the airplane mode thing. You don't have to do that anymore.
Oh no, that's only for certain flights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one I was on, they specifically instructed, you put it on airplane mode. We're shitty.
Well,
we're a
I
shitty
mean-
fucking plane. We can't handle that.
I mean, at the same time, it's not like having it off will do anything because you're not gonna connect to shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't wait till my fucking 13-hour plane trip to Beijing
Oh,
in
boy.
April. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of fun. You know what's crazy? On the way back, we're leaving Beijing when we're coming back. We're leaving at like 1 in the afternoon, and we'll be arriving in America at like 2:20 in the afternoon. Because we're beating the sun to the other side of the earth. So like, even though the flight will be 13 hours, it's only gonna seem like it's only gonna seem like an hour has passed to all of our watches, which is
Always fun.
oh my god, it's gonna be fucking 20 hours of sunlight.
Huzzah for
Nuts.
time discrepancies.
Like, you're gonna take off, and then fucking Speed Highway is gonna start. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be just like this.
It's called a road. It's called the rainbow.
Oh, God,
it's gonna
Matt,
actually,
why?
it's gonna be just like that.
I guess I guess the music that's gonna be in the background of this one's gonna be Sonic Adventure 2 music.
No, it's Speed Highway. It's Sonic Adventure 1.
Oh
God
yeah,
damn it.
Sonic
Fuck
Adventure
you.
1. Yeah.
Learn the lore, Brian.
I learned the lore. I watched Did You Know Gaming's Eggman video.
Crazy, man.
Radical. That's the style.
Absolute madman.
Oh man. Matt,
So what you guys been playing this week?
Matt, I have to ask this first and
What's
foremost.
up?
I have to ask,
All right.
Okay.
how was your time with your actual girlfriend though?
It was fine. It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Was it awkward?
No.
Okay. At least you had fun.
I had fun. Speaking of playing games, I brought Trauma Team with me because the prerequisite for visiting someone is making them play through the entirety of Trauma Team.
Oh yeah, I want to fucking hear about you getting drunk and playing. You're talking about this, and now I'm interested.
I got fucking drunk. 3 shots was all it took.
What kind of alcohol?
Vodka.
Oh.
I could not hold my hand very steady. If I turned my head a little bit, I would like get extremely dizzy. But I played Trauma Team just like that, and it was an experience.
Did you beat it?
I beat Trauma Team.
Might as well be Surgeon Simulator
You
at that
beat it
point.
drunk?
No, I did not beat it drunk, but I beat a few levels drunk.
I hope one day you do this again, but it's live streamed and I can watch this fucking happen.
Eventually.
What would you think would be worse, playing Trauma Team drunk or after eating like the spiciest wings ever made?
Drunk.
Yeah, like what do wings have to do with this? Like they're
Like,
not going to
the
affect
wings
you that
would
much.
probably clear up your head and make it easier.
No, but I mean if they're such like high in the Scoville charts, I think they refer, like if they're really fucking hot, basically.
Just drink some milk.
No milk allowed.
No milk allowed.
Shit. That's a hard question then. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm going
Wait,
I don't
but
know.
you're allowed. Are you allowed ice cream?
No.
No, it's just wings.
Just wings.
Just wings, no water.
Nothing.
Ah, damn.
Actually, water would probably make it worse.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
No, you're only allowed to drink Coca-Cola, making it even worse.
Oh shit.
okay. So that's that.
I also beat Twilight Princess.
AKA the
Yeah.
worst Zelda.
Or did you... Have you played it before, or is it the first time?
I've beaten Twilight Princess before several times, but not the
Yeah, I
HD
figured.
version.
Okay.
The HD version, I don't think is very good. Lots
I don't
of frame
think the
rate
game
issues.
in general is very good.
Fuck off, Brian.
Fuck off, Brian. No one likes
There were lots of frame rate problems.
Move your desk into your fucking room, you ass.
Like Digital Foundry covered that there were frame rate drops in Fair and Woods, but there, as the game progressed, there were more and more, and it got really bad. There was also a lot of texture issues, like. Okay,
you
so
were showing us.
low quality textures are used when a room is loaded in, but not like the room you're in. So in the lake bed temple, I was entering a room right in front of me. The wall right in front of me changes texture because the low and high quality versions of that texture were two different textures. So the entire wall just morphs into a different one right in front of my eyes, and I'm just like, really? How did this get past QA?
How did anything get past QA for Twilight Princess?
Does Princess HD run on a new engine?
No,
I think it's the
I think
old
it
one.
runs on the
Figured
same
it's the
engine.
same one because it's. I mean, the Wii U's using the same like
Wind Waker,
tech as the previous two.
Wind Waker was a new engine for sure, but
Yeah, I know that.
Twilight
for-
Princess, all the same effects are happening. Like, there's nothing new, just some tweaks. So I think it's the same engine. Because
Yeah, it's so weird that it's not like running better on the same hardware,
Yeah.
the same engine, and like optimization.
Yeah, I think it wasn't optimized well. I think some textures were too high res. That's the only thing I can think of as to why the frame rate's bad.
The textures
made by
in
the
general are pretty
people
bad.
Fuck
It was
off.
made by
wasn't
Tantalus.
It was Tantalus, yeah.
Yeah, didn't they make
The Deus Ex
They
port.
made Funky Barn.
Yeah.
They're also working on Sonic Mania. For
Yeah,
the Switch.
Aren't they working
Tantalus?
on Rhyme as well?
I counted the names in the credits. There were like 36 people working on it, and for like 3 years, that's... I guess that's the result I can expect, but it's... They could have done way better.
Wind Waker HD was done in 6 months.
Wind Waker HD had like over 100 people working on it. Fuck off.
Yeah, but it was...
Wasn't also Wind Waker HD done by Nintendo?
Yeah,
it was done by
internally.
Nintendo.
Yeah, that.
Twilight Princess was just overseen by Nintendo. Wind Waker was the whole lot of new graphical effects, new engine. They inserted the sand tech from Pikmin 3 for like the Mulgara boss fight. It was weird. The frame rate in the Mulgara boss fight is also terrible, by the way.
I never had an issue with it.
I,
Don't you know? Me
you
not having
can't-
an issue with it means your issues are automatically negated.
okay.
Pikmin 3 looked fucking beautiful.
Pikmin
by
3
the
was
way.
Pikmin 3. I'm
3 is
surprised that
still
ran
pretty.
well. I'm surprised it runs well. I think it's
That and,
because
like-
all of the textures are low res. Like, I guess that's how they did it.
That and Paper Mario Color Splash look like 4K Xbox Scorpio titles. They look so fucking good.
I don't
Pikmin
know if
3
I'd say that for Pikmin 3.
Pikmin 3 doesn't look like fantastic. It just looks really good. The textures are low res. The models aren't very high polygon except for the fruit.
Then again, I haven't,
The
I haven't
lighting,
played it
the
in,
lighting
like,
is what saves
several
it.
years. But
The lighting is
I
what
just remember
saves it.
looking
The
amazing.
lighting makes
Yeah,
it look really good.
Nintendo's art design with their games is like really fucking fantastic.
They've gotten really good with their HD lighting and stuff.
I really want to see where the fuck Pikmin 4 is.
They're gonna announce it this E3 probably.
Oh, they better, because like we've known it's pretty much
They
been
said it's already
close
like it's
to
almost
done.
done. So they're definitely gonna
but-
throw it out
but-
sometime this year.
But didn't they also say Pikmin 3 was almost done and it came out like 2 years later?
That's true. But yeah, I feel like Twilight Princess HD could have been handled a lot better. I wonder if the frame rate issues could have been rectified if they changed engines, or if that was just too much work for the small staff they had. Because from what I've been reading, they like continuously brought new staff in. Old staff left. Tantalus works on like a contractor basis. It's weird. They have like 10 to 20 contractors in there at one time. So the people who worked on it weren't always working on it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Twilight Princess HD, go play the GameCube version on Dolphin, it's better.
Like the
Yeah.
textures are just
gonna-
like really bad and like not just.
I don't
like,
think I don't think the textures are really bad. It's just they could have been better.
I don't
the
think
thing
it
is-
matches like the original art style Twilight because it's like way too smooth and clean.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I know a lot
that's
of people.
true.
I know a lot of people will say Twilight Princess looked so good because it was so muddy, and I'm like, not necessarily. I think it had to deal partially with the color palette.
Yeah, the color palette, earthy tones. Twilight Princess HD didn't have all of the earthy tones from the original. I remember.
And like whenever they try to introduce, like whenever they remade these textures, they added like they filtered other textures on top of them to like give them more depth. And like
Yeah.
they did that with Xant's mask with like a bad stone texture. Like I'm pretty sure they just went to like CG textures, got a free stock royalty free texture and overlaid it because I'm like that looks like what I would have done. And like the only texture that benefits from it in my opinion is Midna's mask. Like that's the only thing that looks great.
I think it's because they're using the same engine. They can't use any like they want to have like bump mapping effects, but they can't.
Yeah.
Because it's the same engine.
But there's like a Twilight Princess HD fan texture hack that's putting in normal mapping with speculars.
Yeah, I know, but that's like a really hacked version of Dolphin. They could have done the same thing, maybe, but I feel like, okay, so fun story. My old computer was just a little bit, like, on the realm of, like, PS4 tech-ish, and could not run that texture pack. So imagine what the Wii U could have done with that. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Wii U probably couldn't have handled anything like that.
Okay, but speaking of Zelda like remasters, you wanted to talk about Zelda remakes because you played Majora's Mask 3D recently, didn't you?
Yes, I played Majora's Mask 3D in the last 3 days, and I'm just like sitting through that. Half the time I'm thinking, wow, these are really good changes, and the other half I'm just thinking, why did they do this?
And in the other half, I'm thinking, wow, I beat it in 3 days, just like a video game.
Fuck off.
What are these speedrun strats? One
But-
cycle only.
It wasn't one cycle, I mean 3 days, like real life.
Yeah, I
The
know.
guy who was like marathoning Majora's Mask and he fell asleep.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the timer just runs out and the
Yes.
fucking
The moon falls. It's great. That's happened more than
chat
one
room
time.
went like the chat room was amazing. Like,
Every time
everyone
somebody
lost their
falls
shit.
asleep during Majora's Mask, it's the funniest thing. But yeah, there were a lot of like really smart changes to Majora's Mask 3D, and there were a lot of really questionable changes.
Yeah, I
Like-
know you were talking about like the eyeballs, like forgot and.
I feel like none of the bosses needed eyeballs.
I feel like the only one that really needed something along the lines of an eyeball was Georg.
I don't think George needed one. Like in the original, you could just hit him anywhere and you do damage. So
And
I
it
know
kind
the
of
thing is
works
the
like
eye
that.
the eye only comes out when he gets stunned, but you'd be able to tell when he's stunned because he's not moving anymore. So you just go up to him and you do the Zora magic thing and you do damage and it's just like normal.
See, I think what they wanted to do was like make positioning or like getting to the weak spot a little harder for the player. Cause
But it's
like,
easier now.
yeah, in some cases it really is, like with Adolwa and Got.
Yeah.
I feel like they pretty much only made that change because of Georg, and they were like, we already put an eyeball in, let's put him in everything.
But they made the Georg boss fight worse.
I like the Georg boss fight.
I don't like the new version because the AI can just fuck off.
Yeah, the AI is pretty annoying.
When I replayed the George boss fight, he just would not do the attack that you're supposed to weaken him with. He wouldn't suck up the water and like try to pull you in, which is when
Yeah.
you like you get the mine in his mouth.
I've had that issue
he did not
once.
do that for a solid in-game day, and that was ridiculous.
That's because you actually had to get like real close to him for him to do
did.
that. Oh, you did?
I did.
What did you think of like the changes to the twin mold fight?
Oh, I think the twin mold fight is better, actually.
I love the twin mold fight. I thought
you actually feel like a giant. It's really good. There's like hidden tech and stuff. There's
you
a lot
turn
to
into like
master
the
there.
Incredible Hulk. It's
Yeah,
it's like really fun.
If you mash the button while you're pummeling twin mold, you do more damage. It's a lot of hidden things there. There's a lot of depth in that giant form for just one fight. Unlike the original, where you're just like the same model and the same attacks, nothing different except the voice.
Is real fun.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
give 10 out of 10. Would add eyeballs.
Goat is the same, basically the same fight.
Adolwa's basically the same.
Is better. Adolwa doesn't have the stupid fucking dance move that he does anymore.
Really? I
I always found that annoying. He didn't do it for me, but
Yeah,
I always
like,
found that annoying.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, all the bosses are either the same or better, except for Georg. Georg is just like, I didn't like the way they changed him.
I'm fine with the changes to Georg because I think it makes the fight more interesting. Because like, I don't know, they tried to spice it up because the Georg fight was like really lackluster in the original, and here it at least feels more distinct and memorable.
But yeah,
maybe
Majora's
not
Mask
for the
3D,
right reasons though.
Yeah, Majora's Mask 3D feels like an attempt to finish Majora's Mask, which is great because that's what they should have done with Wind Waker. But
I think
they added a whole bunch of new dialogue. They rewrote a lot of the dialogue in general. They repositioned some places for like quality of life enhancements. The bank is right near the warp point for Clocktown.
Yeah, isn't it like right in the back of the tower now?
Yeah, it's on the back of the tower. It makes sense. It's functional. It works. There's no reason to complain about it. It's good. The save system is not fucking horrible now. They actually could finish the save system. They added like a single new quest line, which is okay. They added an extra bottle, which is, inventory padding to make everything fit on a
wasn't
grid.
it like a continuation of like the Goro brothers? Like you just went to like the hotel and
The
you got a
Gorman
bottle.
brothers, yeah.
Yeah, the Gorman.
The troop leader's mask actually does something now other than just like a neat little thing you can do to replay the it was the Romani Ranch quest where you could like wear the troop leader's mask, the circus leader's mask, whatever it's called, and like the Gorman brothers, when they're raiding the wagon, they wouldn't attack. That's okay, but now there's actually something to do with that damn mask. So I guess it's good. I don't like that it's like more inventory padding, but the mask has a function now, so that's pretty good.
I didn't like the changes they made to ZoraLink that much.
I was about to talk about this. Up until you reach Great Bay, the changes are all good. I would say there's not a single bad change, except maybe like the monkeys not appearing when you exit the Woods of Mystery.
Yeah, that threw me for a bit of a loop.
Yeah, I don't like the new way the monkeys are handled. You get off the boat at the Deku Palace, and then Link automatically walks up to the monkey. That's pretty stupid. But once you hit Great Bay, the changes start being a lot more questionable. ZoraLink now has a slow swimming style, which I appreciate, for sure, but I feel like they could have handled it a whole lot better.
Like, just making the faster swimming style tied to your magic would have, like, fixed a lot of it. Because, like, really, it's just...
It's tied to your magic.
Yeah, that's, like, the only problem with the Zora changes, in my opinion, right? Like, just shift into turbo.
Yeah.
Go Power Rangers.
I feel like holding B during swimming would have been better than holding R. That would have been a little unwieldy, maybe, but maybe putting your attack on B and then having the fast swimming on R would work. Because I understand why they made the changes, because Link is a little hard to control for some people. And I do appreciate the slow swimming, because there were times when I used it over the fast swimming, but in order to swim fast, you have to have magic, or else Link just does a little boost and then stops. It's really annoying.
The archery minigame is now like really fucking easy thanks to like the gyroscope controls too.
Yeah, it is.
Did you do any of the fishing?
No. The fishing was a weird addition. I don't know why they added it. It doesn't enhance the game in any way.
It was originally meant to be in the original version.
Okay, but like, I feel like it's a waste of development resources.
I think fishing in video games, like if done well, is like really engrossing. Like, I spent a good while just doing nothing but fishing in Yakuza 0. I did it quite a bit in Ocarina of Time as well.
Yeah, I don't mind the fishing, but because it was added in a remake, I feel like they could have used those development resources for something else. Like,
well, I mean, you did say that they're basically trying to make the game more complete, and by introducing a scrap feature, I mean, they are kind of doing it.
They are doing that. That's true. The thing is,
that's not how I think it should be complete.
Yeah. The Icana Valley whole line of stuff is still lacking. The fucking Gibdo well is the worst part of the game, and it still is. They made it slightly better because you don't need a blue potion, you just need a potion. It's still pretty bad. It's just I feel like they could have like used that development time to make the Gibdo well not terrible. It's just fetch quests for multiple Gibdos, and it's not fun, not at all.
Let me see.
You good?
Let me see. Oh no, wait, we were going to talk about this, Matt.
Yeah?
We were talking about like the world design of Zelda and how that relates to Breath of the Wild earlier.
Yeah.
Kawlun's like, kill me.
I've been trying to get a word in for 10 fucking minutes, and every single time Brian cuts me off.
Now you know how I feel every Poodcast.
That's never the situation.
It kind of is. Anyways, Matt, we were talking about this. You're like really worried that Breath of the Wild's open world might be too open.
Yes. I've never finished an open world game except for the original Watch Dogs because I was doing that on stream, but I've never finished an open world game on my own time because towards the end of the game or like halfway through, they always end up feeling like a grind, and I just lose all enthusiasm for playing the game and finishing it. And
I think as long as Breath of the Wild follows the same sort of design that the original Zelda did, where like the whole map is basically broken up into squares, almost like little sectors that you can easily recognize and go through and learn around. And it seems like Breath of the Wild is taking inspiration from the original Zelda. I think as long as it keeps doing that, that should be like alright.
I feel like Breath of the Wild is taking less inspiration from the original Zelda than it is with Skyrim.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild has like small copy-paste caverns just like Skyrim,
but the problem is we also haven't seen, like, they've told us for public demos and stuff that they've taken out
towns,
towns and stuff, so we might be seeing a completely different story.
Yeah, we've seen a few towns in the trailers. We don't know for sure if we've seen a dungeon yet, like.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, everything just looks like caves of trials, and I know you think they look boring.
There was controversies about that. People were saying that the new Zelda was not going to have dungeons, which is fucking dumb, because they did... the first time they were showing off footage of Breath of the Wild, they were telling us, like, for hours on end that yes, there will be dungeons. But,
And the DLC even states there's a new dungeon, right?
Yeah, there's another dungeon.
Yeah.
So.
And Matt, you had like a big.
We didn't talk about Zelda having DLC, which
We can talk
I think
about
it's
that
fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
It's fine.
now. I think Zelda having DLC is fine. I just don't. I don't feel like
They announced it at the right time.
they didn't announce it at the right time, and the pricing scheme is fucking ridiculous.
I think for what they're offering, it's not enough for me to want to buy it. But I also don't think that what they're offering is terrible.
I think that what they're offering is terrible. The first half of it.
No, totally. The first half is like...
The first half is
why?
just like cut features or cut content that they couldn't include in the original
I would
game.
say most of it's like chests and stuff that you can already find.
No,
in
no,
the game. Like,
no. That's the season pass.
He's talking
thing.
about like the
I'm
hard
talking
mode.
about the hard mode, extra hard mode. Like Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
extra hard.
The
mode.
way
Yeah,
it's
that's a little
worded,
weird.
though, makes it sound like this might be a second hard mode, and there's
I think it
already.
is.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
don't think it's gonna be like hero mode. I think it's just another.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
if
another
it's
one.
if it's like the Tomb Raider Survivor mode, yeah, that's like perfectly fine in my opinion.
But the
Because that
thing
basically
is,
changed the way the game was played.
you can't buy the individual DLC packs individually.
You have to buy all of it for, like,
the
$20.
season pass for $20 instead of just buying the second DLC, which is the only one that's worth it. And
if you
that's
buy the
totally
season
their
pass-
that's totally their plan.
And if you buy the season pass, you get a chest with a fucking Nintendo Switch shirt in
Oh
it.
god.
Even if you have the Wii U version, which
Yeah.
must seem so weird.
That's a kick in the nuts. right
Nintendo
there.
really wants you to upgrade to that Nintendo Switch.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it worked out for that unmitigated disaster known as the Nintendo Wii. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see
Yeah.
what all the hullabaloo is about, because like I know the real like argument here is that Nintendo is not usually one to do DLC. But,
No. They do DLC for every
but they
game.
do. No, exactly. That's what I was trying to get at. Like they do, and so far the offerings that at least I've like gotten into are pretty fucking good. Mario Kart 8. Holy, they give you practically half of a Mario Kart game
For $15
attached to already a full Mario Kart game.
There's two sides to the Nintendo DLC. There's one with the reasonably priced DLC packs, and then there's the small trinkets you get with your amiibo figurines, which are basically DLC. And I feel like the small trinkets are not good.
Luckily, like for
Breath.
Breath of the Wild, though, like the stuff you get from Amiibo is like totally easy. It's just like
They're basically skins. They're not.
there's supplies. You get like supply drops. That's
Yeah,
basically
you get supply drops. You get stuff that's already in the game. No biggie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. Like, the stuff they're offering with Amiibo isn't that big of a deal, and I'm wondering if that's because they don't want people without the Amiibo to feel left out.
Well, yeah, because then you run into that sort of like that conundrum where it's like, oh, do we lock content behind the Amiibos and have physical DLC, or
Yeah, they did that.
stuff like
They've only
that.
done that with one game so far. I guess 2 games if you count
Splatoon
Wolf and Breath of the Wild.
Triforce Heroes.
Um,
Not
I guess-
Triforce Heroes. Hyrule
I guess
Warriors.
Splatoon, Hyrule Warriors, yeah.
Well, on the
okay, so
Wii
3
U.
games. 3 games. We got Splatoon, we got Hyrule Warriors, and we got Breath of the Wild coming up.
With
Breath of
the
the Wild
wolf.
already has physical DLC with Wolf Link. You can't get it any other way. You have to have the Amiibo, and I think you also have to have Twilight Princess HD.
You know, I'm thinking about this, and this is kind of weird. Is physical DLC, at least the Amiibo stuff, is it totally the worst? Because I mean, one of the biggest problems with DLC is that like, oh, if these services are shut down in the future, we won't be able to re-download them. But like, But then you run into the issue of this shit is already on the disc. Why are they charging for it?
I think
it really depends on
depending
what
on
you're
the
doing.
figurine.
Yeah.
Like the Wolf-Link amiibo is really good. It's really detailed. It's a nice piece. That's worth getting. But something like, I don't know, the Smash Brothers Link amiibo, which you need for the spinner in Hyrule Warriors, the detail on it is really bad. It's got a piss-like leg to hold it up. It's really shitty, and
I gotta say, I actually am not a fan of a lot of the Smash Brothers amiibos, only because every single one of them has a pissed-off face.
Yeah, I like
even
I would
Kirby.
I would never buy the Mario Smash Brothers amiibo, because it's just who wants a pissed-off Mario?
I like Ganondorf. Ganondorf has really good detail. It makes sense that he's angry because he's the villain. And he doesn't have a fucking piss stand to hold him up because he's a solid piece.
You know what my favorite pissed off amiibo is?
What?
Which one do you like the hot glue, Brian? Tell
Pikachu. No, I was gonna say, it is pretty situational. I know people who I knew this guy.
I
knew this guy. He used to be part of Zelda Informer.
Ooh, scandalous.
Scandalous. Uh-oh. Anyways, so
it's okay that website's dying.
He really hates Amiibo. He's like, the only time he ever thought Amiibo worked well was with Smash Brothers, because he felt like it was something that could only be done with Amiibo. He hated them in Splatoon, even though they were basically just recycling the special missions for 2 extra costumes, maybe 3. And he had such a vendetta against these that he really but he was so close to caving in. I got him a Tom Nook amiibo and he loved it. But but every time he looked at it, he was like, this shitty business. He eventually ended up burning the Tom Nook amiibo I got.
Oh my god!
What a fucking child.
I know. Now you know why I don't. Now you know why I don't talk to him anymore. Luckily, the thing was $4, right?
Oh yeah, I saw Tom Nook amiibos for $4 back in California. That was really funny. Nobody wanted them.
It's not like I went to SGC a couple years ago. The last one, and the last one ever, and they were doing the amiibo cockfight, and that was
amazing.
You had dudes fucking putting into battle their $60 Animal Crossing villager amiibos that they bought at launch, and it loses within the first round, and they have to fucking put it into a blender. And
oh god.
Yeah, it's not great.
Oh god.
What was it? Which one was it? It was the Dark Pit that broke the hammer, right?
Yeah.
That was
I actually know
amazing.
the guy who got the dark. I think he had just purchased it too for $30 when he submitted it.
I don't know why you would do that. Hey, let's buy $100 Martha amiibo and break it.
Pac-Man broke the blender.
Oh, that's
because it's literally a solid ball of plastic.
Yeah, well, they don't go down without a fight.
I'm on such a conundrum with the amiibos, because on one hand, I really don't know how I feel about locking shit behind it. I do like that they do have a little NFC chip in them, and that you can smack them in Hyrule Warriors and they'll just give you 5 rupees or something. Cute shit like that is fine, but locking actual content behind it, even though I was just saying is it really all that bad? It's still
it depends on that content.
Yeah, I think if it's already there, but the amiibo is a quicker way of getting it, it's not terrible. It's just a fun little bonus.
I'm kind of I'm not against the way it was done in Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah, it's just costumes.
Yeah. And I'm not against the way it was done in Twilight Princess, where it was just the Cave of Ordeals again, but only with Wolf-Link.
My favorite use of amiibos was Yoshi's Woolly World, because you scanned them in, and it was compatible with every fucking amiibo, and it would actually change the colors on Yoshi.
I played as a Ganondorf Yoshi. It was really funny.
I played as a Duck Hunt dog.
I still haven't had the chance to play.
But yeah, I think Twilight Princess HD's like locked behind content is. I'm really divided on that because on one hand, Princess Zelda and the Link amiibos, they just like replenish your hearts and arrows and stuff. That's fine. But then there's Ganondorf, which unlocks what should be the actual difficulty in Twilight Princess. Because when the enemies do more damage, Twilight Princess can actually be hard.
Well,
and then there's the
artificially
wolf.
harder.
No, it's not artificially harder. It's not hero mode. You can still replenish your health fine. It's not artificially harder. It's just
with
the
Ganondorf amiibo, you
models.
essentially double the amount of gameplay difficulties.
You double the damage enemies do to you, which means when you get hit, it's more of a punishment, which is fine because most enemies only did like a quarter or a half a heart. So the increased damage is how the game kind of should have been.
Well, what I meant
Ganondorf
was like...
finally does a full heart of health if you have the Ganondorf amiibo, and that's ridiculous that you have to have the amiibo to make him an actual boss fight.
At the same time, though, like, I think the one factor that not many people are considering, at least now, is the fact amiibos are so fucking cheap.
Yeah, they're cheap right
Like,
now.
Like,
They're releasing them at a
as
higher
much
price,
as-
but they go down really fast.
as much as I think people love to say, like, oh, Nintendo's creating official scarcity with a lot of their products.
I don't think
the
they are.
I think with the amiibos, it really was a situation of, like, more people wanted them than demanded.
Yeah,
Because they were fucking crazy. Like, too many people wanted them. Like,
I feel like with recently the artificial scarcity thing for Nintendo hasn't really been artificial scarcity. It's just been them not meeting the demand.
yeah, like, when people say, like, oh, the Switch is getting the same scarcity, I'm like, they had 2 million units ready. Like, for a
Almost
console
2
launch,
million.
that's...
They I think they hit underneath that, according to reports.
I know
like-
Reggie said they had 2 million ready to go.
Yeah, they
at least-
expected 2 million in the first month.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever. But either way, like... that's still a lot. That's, like, for a fucking console launch, like, that's a lot of, like, units.
That's twice as much as the PS4's launch.
Yeah, it was. And it's 3 times as much as the Wii U. So, actually, it might be, like, 4 or 5 times as many. Wii U only sold 400,000 units at launch. Oops. But, all of the amiibos are, like, really, really accessible now. Like, waiting 5 months to really help that. Not even that. Just buying overseas and stuff really helped. Like, I remember people, when the fucking NES amiibo came out, like, people lost their shit for it. Like, GameStop sold out fucking immediately. I went to cons and they were selling it for like $30, $40, $50.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Later in the fucking week, I just went on PlayAsia and got it for $8. And it is the official one because PlayAsia is an official retailer. And it's like, sure, it's from Japan, but I mean, it's the same fucking thing. It works the exact same way. It's not region locked. It's fine. And nowadays they're all like $5. Like the Ryu one goes for fucking $4 or $5 now.
I can't wait to use my Ryu amiibo.
Still waiting on that Bayonetta one, Nintendo.
Can't wait to
They're
use
not
the
going to
Ryu
release that until
amiibo.
Smash Switch comes out.
Yeah, of course.
What if you can use the Ryu amiibo in Ultimate in that new all Marvel vs.
Marvel,
Capcom?
because it's the same model.
Yeah. Unlock a new model.
The thing about amiibos for me is just the fact that there's a lot of them based off of properties that are never going to get figurines like either looking as good or at all.
Yeah.
Like there will never be a fucking Duck Hunt figure
Or a Chibi Robo.
or Chibi Robo or Shovel Knight
Or Shulk.
or yeah, exactly. Of like all these like. I mean, fuck, the Pac-Man one looks better than most Namco licensed merchandise.
I'm surprised we don't have an
Look at
like
the Pac-Man amiibo, which you can now get for a few dollars. And then compare that to like, I don't know, the Pac-Man Funko Pop. It's like 30 times better. Funko Pops look like shit, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
Always.
They look fucking terrible.
I'm surprised there's like no Figma or like actual statue available of like Palutena. Only the amiibo.
There will be eventually.
I mean, I don't know, man. Camilla got a statue. I'm just waiting for the Camilla
If
amiibo.
Sakurai gets his way, he'll have his waifu in statue form. He already got Pit and Dark Pit. Like, Jesus Christ.
That's why I was so happy that I was able to pre-order like some of the first wave amiibos, because like, when the fuck am I ever gonna get a Little Mac figure? Like, aside from an amiibo, like, Jesus Christ, like, I love Punch Out. Like, Little Mac gets no love. So
I really wanted Captain Falcon, but then I saw he had a piss stand too, and it was like, oh, god damn it.
Oh,
I hope when they make like new Smash Brothers amiibos for like the new renders and whatever later Smash Brothers game happens, they like design the renders so that they won't need piss stands anymore.
I'm surprised they haven't announced any more amiibo. I mean, aside from the Breath of the Wild ones, which they already announced like a year ago.
Well, they announced some new
Like-
ones too.
Oh, they did? They announced
Zelda,
a couple new ones?
Bokoblin, those
yeah.
things.
But like, I'm surprised because the fucking Pro controllers and the Joy-Cons have the NFC readers.
Trust me, for every major Nintendo release, there will be new amiibo. Mario Odyssey definitely getting amiibo. All that.
I hope.
I wonder if
amiibos.
I wonder if they'll lock
Splatoon 2
like
is probably gonna get some.
maybe
Oh, of
Splatoon
course.
2.
What about
but
Arms?
Ooh.
Arms, no.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Where's my 1-2 Switch amiibo? Come on, Reggie.
The amiibo
speaking
for
of-
1-2 Switch is just a Joy-Con with like little lines beside it, mimicking HD Rumble.
Or
Speaking
cow
of-
udders?
The launch of the Switch, we've gotten a lot more games coming out for this thing now at launch.
Yup.
I think we'll move on
Yeah.
from that because we're like 50 minutes in and we got like 2 other topics to talk about.
Good. That's a good thing. That means we have enough shit to pick and choose from when we edit.
I gotta ask you, Colin.
Yeah.
Did you watch that edit of Beauty and the Beast with Voldemort?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Wasn't it amazing?
Can we talk about how shitty the new Beauty and the Beast is? Can we talk about how on the very first Poodcast I said that Beauty and the Beast was going to look terrible and that they were going to cop out with the Lion King and rehire the old actors? And look what they fucking did.
I watched the first like minute-long clip of Beauty and the Beast, right? Like the opening scene.
It looks like a TV movie.
It-
It looks like Gallivant now on ABC. Well, it's canceled, but it looks like Gallivant on ABC.
No, Gallivant
does.
looked
It-
so much better. I was just watching Gallivant last night. Trust me, Gallivant looks so much better.
The fucking Muppets looked better, and they canceled that. Thanks, Disney.
Like, I don't know what it is about Emma in that movie, but like I've been saying, it looks like she's just there to collect a paycheck to go work on a better movie.
I still think it's fucking amazing that that the only clips of the film they've like barely shown everyone is like how the Beast and all the other characters look, and that's probably because so far the stills they've shown us, they all look like garbage. They all look like hot, just shit.
They need to get Ron Perlman back to play the Beast.
Well, now that Hellboy 3 is not a thing anymore, he should be fine.
Wait, was he the one who played Beast?
In like the live action TV show from the 1990s, I think.
Oh, okay. I was like,
That was a
what?
better makeup job than what they're doing today.
said it
I
before
know
and
the
I'll say it
show.
again. I don't know the appeal of these Disney remakes. Like, they don't look good.
They're
and
they're familiar.
They have none of the charm of the original. Like, you really are just better off watching the fucking original.
They're familiar.
got into-
They're live action. They're not for kids anymore. It's live action.
I got into a little debate about this earlier, and this guy was just really adamant that because it was now CG live action, the movie could only be better.
But no, because it looks worse. It actually looks worse.
I think it has to do. Oh
they
shit!
made a
I think my microphone
decently
fell
looking-
over. Oh god.
Yeah, it did. They made a decently looking animated movie, and they converted it to live action, and they've just the quality spiraled out. And it's not because they went live action; it's just because whoever's making it forgot to turn on proper color correction and made everything look brown.
I think it has to do with the whole stigma against animation. Animation's for kids, it's not for adults, and now that the movies are not animated, they're for adults. They can be
But I don't know
art.
if I can believe that, because then Frozen makes $1 billion fucking dollars.
Frozen makes $1 billion fucking dollars because it appeals to all audiences, and parents can take their kids to see it.
But
and
that's
it's
the thing,
CG.
though, about these. But that's the thing about these remakes, though, is that the people that are going to be bringing their kids to these movies are people who grew up with the originals.
Yeah.
It's been 20 years. Are they really just trying to go by, oh, I remember seeing the Disney's Beauty and the Beast when I was younger. I can't wait to see, the same film again, but in live action, I guess, and show my kid. Why would you want to do that when you can just, go on Netflix and show them...
Because you don't understand.
original.
Some people think Emma Watson's hot, and that justifies a new movie.
She looks terrible as Belle. I'm just gonna... They should have gotten, Zooey Deschanel or something.
Oh my god, my friend would flip
doesn't
if
fit the
Zooey
role.
Deschanel was there.
Just someone who actually looks like Belle.
Or somebody who looks like they want to be there.
Just get the guy who voiced Olaf in Frozen to play
Oh
Belle.
my god.
He is in Beauty and the Beast. He's fucking... Whatever that guy's name is, I forgot, because I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast in 3 years.
Cogsworth?
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Who's
I'm
playing
saying.
Gaston? Isn't it
I don't.
Hamilton Man?
Maybe. I don't know.
Hamilman?
Man,
Is it Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I don't know.
Oh my god, now I have to... Hang on, folks, it's about to get loud. 2017. It's Luke Evans.
Who the hell's Luke Evans?
He was in Dracula Untold and Fast and Furious 6.
Oh.
Okay. Great.
An actor is
I'll
an
grab
actor.
my stuff.
Beautiful. Wonderful. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people defending the Beauty and the Beast movie based on the fact that, oh my god, Emma Watson's so hot. I don't get it.
I just want to point out, by the way, because I
people are
noticed
just
this
really
a while
thirsty.
ago. I noticed this a while back. I really do think that the Disney knows the CG characters look like shit, because if you look at the poster, they're all in their... All those extra characters are in their human forms.
Oh my god!
Which, realistically, you don't actually see until the end of the fucking movie.
Are we sure these are their human forms?
Yes, that's Ian McKellen. That's, these are the people playing those characters.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What the fuck?
And then I don't think Lion King's gonna look good. After seeing Jungle Book, no, I don't think as I said, I think the dead-eyed uncanny valley look just does not help these things at all.
So, how come on this poster, Beast looks like he's going for, a Derek Zoolander Blue Magnum steel look? Blue
Because
steel.
with any other reaction, it looked terrible.
I don't know. He just looks like he's a male model. I don't know. Why do they have
doesn't
to
look
make?
good.
Why'd they have to make the Beast look like he's the Beauty?
God damn it.
You mean Beastly? Anyone remember Beastly?
What?
What was Beastly? I know. I
Beastly,
remember the name.
The Twilight-esque
Oh god, yes.
remake of Beauty and the
Oh,
Beast.
Beast
Adaptation
had
of it.
gauged ears or something.
Yeah.
Jesus
Like-
Christ.
You don't understand. My tattoos make me like an outcast, and I'm a monster.
By the way, here are the pictures of these characters in CG that they're trying to hide because they know for a fact it looks bad.
Oh my
Here's-
god.
Here's the clock. These look not good.
Wow.
If you're watching the YouTube version, Brian has put these on screen by now.
And hopefully
Or
I
just-
haven't accidentally edited them out, because I did that last Pood by accident.
He's either put them on screen or gotten lazy and put them in the description.
I'll put them on screen.
Oh, here it is. You know what? No. Perfect picture. Now here's all of them. Here you go. Here you go. Now you know what all the fun, wonderful characters you love of Beauty and the Beast look like.
Oh god, that fucking
in live
teapot.
action. And they all look bad. They all look absolutely terrible.
No,
The teapot
what are they
looks
And I
doing?
really
hungover.
don't want to be this like cynical and jaded over fucking Disney musicals because I really do like them, but like, god damn it, like why? Why do these look so fucking terrible? Why did they make this remake? What was the point? They could have just re-released the movie in theaters worldwide and made like another like $750 million.
Yep.
Because re-releases do actually make that much money. Fucking The Phantom Menace in 3D made $500 million.
Wow.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I like how the plan was to release every Star Wars movie in 3D, and like because Disney bought it,
We
they
only
cut
got Phantom
they cut the
Menace.
plans, and is just the Phantom Menace.
They swindled us out of our money for Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
They made us all relive the terror
Yeah.
in 3D.
Maybe it was a smart marketing tactic for them to say, you remember this? We're not doing that.
Because I was excited. I was like, fuck it, I'll watch all of them in a theater. Because at least I see them in a theater. And then it's just, oh no, it's Phantom Menace alone. Like, thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dad.
Before we run out of time, let's talk about Resident Evil 7.
Yes, because I've been playing Resident Evil 7.
I gotta
and,
sit this one out, boys.
See ya, Brian. I'll call you back when it's time for the DLC.
Don't worry, I'm just gonna sit here silently.
Okay.
Brian's doing a me. Like what I did just 30 minutes ago.
Hey.
So Resident Evil 7 is pretty good. I
I
wasn't
disagree.
expecting it. Okay. I wasn't expecting it to be very good.
Oh
Or at
no,
least, I
Brian's
don't know,
pulling a me.
I didn't. I didn't have many expectations for it because the only material about it I was following, I think that anyone was following, was the demo, which is like very, very non-representative of the final game in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the demo was fucking terrible. Jesus
It is.
Christ.
It really is. Because it's so weird. Like I played the demo when it came out on PS4, and I had a friend over, and we just like, because they really wanted to evoke that PT feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I think they even said they brought over one of the designers from PT to work on it, and like, it didn't. You know, like, story time. When the PT demo came out, I had 3 friends came over, and we like shut off the lights, and I think it took us like an hour and a half to get through it, because like the 2 friends I had play it were like the biggest fucking scaredy cats. They would like switch off frequently and like hide behind the couch and shit.
The
Like,
fuck?
it was a really, really good experience because the game really did like evoke those emotions. Like PT really was that unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
it was
Resident
really
Evil-
good.
The Resident Evil 7 demo did none of that because it just looked like a fucking demo for an Amnesia clone.
Yeah.
Which, like, say what you will about Amnesia, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but like, by now, it's been 7 fucking years. Amnesia's design is, I wouldn't say old or dated, but it's been done.
Yeah, it's been
And
done
it
several
doesn't-
times.
It doesn't surprise anymore. That formula of go from A to B to figure out C, and then a monster chases you, has been done to death.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, Resident Evil 7, the final version, does that. because also earlier Resident Evil games did that, like RE3 with the Nemesis system. And I'll go into that in a second. But the difference from the demo and now is that the full game has way more character and way more going on. And it's this... I hate being that guy that goes, it returns the classic RE, but it really... as it doesn't feel like a throwback as much as it feels like the next logical step in the Resident
It feels
Evil
like
franchise.
a new thing. It's definitely not old RE, but it's not too far off.
The way I feel like it harkens back to classic RE is not just the fact that you're in a house and you look at letters and oh man, it's real spooky, but more of the fact that it really does feel like a video game version of horror films. Like the first RE and its predecessor Sweet Home, which was in itself based on a movie, are basically just video game versions of like Boo Haunted House movies. Like, you watch your Amityville Horrors, you watch your Sweet Home, you watch your Houseu, that's fucking RE. That's what it is. Resident Evil 2 is a George Romero movie, and then they just kind of gave up from there. Because everything from there is basically sequels with a few movie references here and there. But RE7, I mean, that opening for RE7, the thing that people have been saying about RE7 is that it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. And, like, there's a shot early on in the game when you first get control of your character and you're walking up to the house, and it's angled the exact same way as a pretty famous shot from Texas Chainsaw Massacre where a woman walks up to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. And it's like, there are so many moments in this game that harken back and take cues without feeling like references, like, oh, you get this, remember this movie doing this. They're all subtle nods that really do feel like they fit in the RE formula. And so far I've noticed things from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2, Evil Dead 1 and 2, The Blair Witch, and it's great. And it's fun. It really is. And it's the atmosphere is done well, and it's fucking corny too. It's really fucking corny. It's so weird because I've had so many people come up to me and say like, oh, well, the game's really good early on because it's super serious, but then it gets really corny later on. And that's something I don't get when people complain about RE.
Literally, the introduction to the Baker family is the dude knocking you out and telling you, welcome to the family, son. It's like, It's like really stupid and funny. It's great.
And I've never understood when people say, oh, RE7's a throwback because it's more serious. Like, RE's never been fucking serious.
It's never been.
I mean, you could always say, like, yeah, like, RE1 is really corny because the voice acting in it was just so dumb. But, like, Jill Valentine's kicking dogs in the fucking face. Like, and stuff like that. Like, it's based on Sweet Home, a movie that if you watch is completely fucking ridiculous. And it feels good. It's real good.
I feel like RE7's less of a throwback to the original games than it is just like a return to like the next step after RE4.
Yeah, no, it feels like, as I said before, it feels like the franchise moving on. And say, because Matt, I'm sorry, but not a lot of people like Resident Evil 6.
No, I'm not talking about that. I don't feel like it's moving on. I feel like it's
getting back on track.
I feel like it's like how Twilight Princess is to Zelda, where it doesn't really do anything new. It just does old things and does them again. There's nothing really new in RE7. It's just a return to the original like areas and aesthetics and all that.
It's not new, but I think there's at least new twists on some of them, and it's at least wrapped up in a new bow. The first-person perspective actually works pretty well, I gotta say. It controls pretty well too. I'm not a fan of the first-person perspective because the specific thing is they make the aiming slower. Here's the thing. and this, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, but the combat in RE7 was giving me Punch-Out vibes. Because that really is how it works. Because a lot of the combat is dependent on either you dodging by ducking or swinging out of the way, or you actually, like, putting up your hands to dodge an attack.
Yeah, I can get that.
And then from there you can slash or you can shoot. And it's very similar to in the original REs when you had to, like, hold the aim button and then, like, point up or down in a direction to aim at, whatever you were trying to aim at. But so far, I'm not done with it. I'm about halfway through. It's a fun romp.
Yeah.
I do have problems with it, though, because Jack Baker's not scary. He's just kind of a fucking nuisance.
The thing I don't like about Jack Baker is in like RE3 you could kill Nemesis, but RE7 goes out of your way to tell you can't kill Jack, and you can't kill him.
Well, my problem with Jack is not just the fact that he's invincible, but the fact that you can easily maneuver around him and that he teleports.
Yeah. The teleportation shit is really bad.
Because they want to give the illusion that Jack is always roaming the house, when in situations he clearly fucking isn't. There have been times, and because they want to do the amnesia thing, where like Jack only shows up when you're continuing on.
Yeah.
Or anyone else in the family, for that matter, because it's the same thing. But, like, when he does, you can avoid him, because he's super fucking slow. There is a way to knock him down, but it takes, like, basically all of your fucking ammo that they've given you.
Yeah.
And you're just better off just running away and, like, closing 3 doors in his face.
I feel like Jack Baker is the biggest offender in RE7, and he's at the beginning, so that's a good thing. He's the biggest offender of forced jump scares, because he just teleports, like, behind you, he turns you around, he's like, hey, son, and he punches you, and it's like, god damn it.
I loaded a save. I paused at one point, saved, went and did something, and I came back, and the first thing that happened when I loaded up my save was I walked out of the room, I started walking down a hallway, and the fucking wall in front of me, like, exploded, like in Rainbow Six Siege, and he just popped out like, hey, what are you doing, Sonny? And I'm like, am I supposed to be scared? Because I'm not scared. I'm laughing,
that's
and
a really
B,
silly moment.
I'm just kind of fucking annoyed because Sledge over here from Rainbow Six Siege decided he wanted to be part of the gang. But, I mean, otherwise, I'd say if you're curious, I guess maybe wait for a price drop. I don't know how the game is in VR. I'm really curious as to how that is. And
according to Gorg Woodsman, it's better in VR.
But he also played the demo.
He played the demo, though, so it's
so,
like,
I mean, I guess that means the actual game is better. Who knows? We'll find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. But, it's a lot of fun. I would say wait for a price drop.
Wait till the first free DLC. Because that's coming in, like, April?
I think.
Yeah.
Matt, didn't you say you heard something weird about the DLC?
Oh,
all right, I want to hear this.
Okay,
we finish
are you
up,
okay with me
really
spoiling RE7? Just the very end. It's not anything important. It's basically the setup for the DLC. Okay, at the end.
Is it? Okay.
At the end of RE7, spoilers. If you don't want to hear it, just click out. The end of RE7, Umbrella Corp shows up to save you.
Yeah, I was about to.
And Chris Redfield, quote unquote, Chris Redfield is working for Umbrella Corp. Either he's infiltrating, or it's not him, or he's like brainwashed. I don't know. But the first DLC, the free DLC for RE7, is called Not a Hero, and it stars Chris Redfield, explaining how like this Chris Redfield's not a hero. And the rumor I heard about the RE7 DLC is that Chris Redfield was Wesker all along.
What?
Oh my!
That sounds dumb enough to actually be true. But
I'll say
there's
this
only
much.
one source, but if that's actually true, they've ruined the entirety of Chris Redfield's character and also made the entire fucking Resident Evil series into a cartoony farce, like even more than it's been. It's ridiculous.
You know,
Why can't he just be a clone?
He's a clone.
on.
He's a clone, but he's
Hang
Wesker.
on, let me. When I first was reading about Resident Evil 7, I'm one of those people that I've always kind of thought, at least after 6, that if the series went in the direction of just like continuing the same quality as like, I don't know, 5 or the Revelations games, I'd be fine. Because I think by now it's become accustomed to that you're going to be getting the continuing adventures of these same 4 characters, which are Chris, Jill, Leon, and Claire, just over and fucking over again, and what crazy shit they get into this time, with maybe a bit of Barry and Ada and Wesker thrown in.
They added in a new protagonist in 6 that I think they were going to continue the series with until 6 bombed. It was successful, but it wasn't successful enough. They added in, Jake's son. He has breakdance combat. He's a real cool dude. So he was going to become a mainstay. But I feel like if they continued in the direction that the series was going, fans wouldn't be happy. But
I mean, if that source is true, then they seriously can't fucking let go. Like, oh my god.
They keep bringing Wesker back any way possible.
I mean, that's fine.
It's funny.
Like, and you know, at first I was really opposed to like, who the fuck is Ethan? Who the fuck is Mia? Who the fuck are the Bakers? But then like, I'm also again getting flashbacks to like how the characters in Resident Evil 1 and 2 are like completely different camps of people. And I would not mind seeing more people added to the RE camp. That's always fun. But like, and in terms of the writing, I mentioned Revelations, and isn't the lead writer from Revelations? Isn't he the guy who was like the lead of RE7?
I don't know, but I know the lead writer for RE7 is the guy who wrote Fear.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god. That explains why it feels so Western. It doesn't feel very it doesn't have that Japanese American kind of jank.
It doesn't feel like a Japanese game. It feels like a Western game. And that's one of my problems. Like the camp style in RE7, it's still camp. It's still fine, but it's very different from the camp style in like RE4 or the previous games. It's
well, as I said, it's going back to being like a video game version of movies that you've seen.
But I feel like it's going too far, because the original Resident Evil games were like their own thing, even though they were hearkening back to classic horror. But RE7 feels like it's hearkening too much of classic horror.
Maybe, I don't know, because as I said, maybe it's just because I really, really like the movies that these are based on, but so I'm biased because it's like, oh yeah, there's finally a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Oh, there's finally a good Evil Dead game, because there's a few bad ones. But I don't know. I've just been having a good old time, and it doesn't seem very self-conscious of the fact that it's an RE game, aside from like a few things. You still have herbs. The game's called Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, or Biohazard 7 Resident Evil, which I think is cute, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's like a nice little thing to do.
I will tell you,
and I do,
no spoilers,
I do like
the
how
end of the game definitely
Yeah.
goes back to Resident Evil.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But like, I also even like how they did doors. They sort of brought back the door like segue.
Oh yeah.
So the way they do it in this game is you kind of press up against the door first before opening it.
Yeah, you have to close it to actually like get rid of the bad guys. It's kind of neat.
It's real neato. If you're curious about getting Resident Evil 7, it's pretty good. I don't know if I'd say it's better than Yakuza 0, but
I would say Resident
but
Evil 7 is a worthwhile endeavor.
it is. It
Later
really is.
down the line. It's a very short game. A friend of mine beat
Yeah.
it in like 3 hours. That's not great, but
I'm of course taking my sweet time because I like looking at everything.
if you
so.
if you're playing it for the first time, it might take 10, but it's a really short game if you know what you're doing. Wait for a price drop.
still-
It's going to be a fun time. Always wait for a price drop with most any game, unless it's like Yakuza, where
Unless it's Yakuza, where you can play
the
for
future of the
hundreds of hours
series,
on end.
the future of the series, like depends
on
on you buying it full price.
That's right, boys. Buy Puyo Puyo Tetris at launch, or else old man Sega will actually strangle us.
Or else Matt will show up with Barney and friends.
I'll do it. We're bringing like 12 gauge shotguns.
Wow.
I love you. You love
man.
me. I'm gonna go on a killing spree with a great big gun and a bullet through your head.
Oh, boy.
So yeah, I like Resident Evil 7. Tune in next week on the next episode of Grey's Anatomy's Bizarre Adventures when someone
Dies.
gets something. Oh.
God, I hope not. That'd be pretty
Gonna
dark.
die from motion sickness.
Maybe.
Too much chimichangas.
Oh, get the salad bowl ready. Alright.
Hey kids.
Is that it? Do we
Hey
have anything
kids.
else left to talk about?
No.
Bye.
Don't see Beauty and the Beast. Bye.
Bye. Why did Brian post a lot of pictures of 2B's underwear in the fucking Discord chat? Leave this in. This is the ending. This is the real ending. Brian's a fucking pervert.